Are you concerned that your boss might be spying on you using the webcam on your company laptop, or that your ex might be spying on you using your cell phone camera? You're probably being paranoid, but there is a solution for that. A company called Zooms.io, short for Stay Out of My Zoo, reached out to me and asked if I'd like to check out their webcam covers. I should also mention they did offer to sponsor this video as well, but the opinions I'm going to provide here are my own. So through their website they do offer a couple of different options in terms of these webcam covers. It's small, it's simple to install. As you may have seen there, they do have a couple of different options available. They have black metal and then they have plastic, but you can check their site for all the details on that. And essentially what you end up doing is you just pop it out of the back like this, you push back, pull off the cardboard, and then peel it away from the cardboard and it's ready to install. It's got some sticky two-sided tape on it. And you should be able to stick it to whatever device you want to, provided that the camera lens is not too big for it. So as an example, I have my laptop here, and I've just very quickly and easily pushed it against the screen of the laptop, and that sticky double-sided tape on it is looking like it's gonna hold in place pretty well. Now, I'll guarantee there are some of you that are immediately gonna ask the question, why would you use something like this as opposed to just putting electrical tape or duct tape over it? The cool thing about this is it does cover your webcam up, but it also provides you that ability to slide it back open in case you need to use the webcam without actually having to peel the tape back and without having to worry about sticky tape residue being all over the place. So as an example, I do have this on my laptop and I can just very easily reach my finger over and slide it back and forth. And I will say the metal one so far, the metal does not have a little tab on it, so it can be a little bit difficult to actually slide it back and forth. But if you get your fingernail in there just right, or if you have a little bit of stickiness to your fingers, it'll work just fine. So here's a quick test of the front-facing camera on my MacBook Pro. I've got the Zooms.io webcam cover on here, and right now, I've just covered it up. So now you can't see me, and I just took my pants off. The plastic ones actually have a little nubbin on them that you can slide them back and forth with. So you just put your fingernail against that nubbin and pull, and it moves. Very quick, very easy. Now the other obvious thing here is, you may be able to see there, specifically with the white one, just how small that hole is. That means that whatever camera you put this on is gonna have to have a relatively small lens on it. So as an example, I have this on the OnePlus X on the front-facing camera, so if I had it laying down on a table or something and I wanted to close it, just in case my little paranoid brain wanted to think that somebody was going to invade my cell phone web camera, now they can't. The place I see this being much more useful is, of course, on the front-facing camera of a laptop or like a tablet, so maybe the Surface Pro or the Shield tablet, something that you're going to be using, that you're going to have out and have that camera exposed and facing you, but maybe not something that you're going to be sticking in a pocket. This does add just a little bit of noticeable girth to the device. I don't think this is actually going to be pulled off by sticking it in and out of a pocket, especially if you were to use the metal one because they are so flat. The plastic one does have that little bit of extra girth to it, so putting it in and out of a pocket, it might eventually get pulled off. That sticky tape may come off. And also keep in mind, in addition to having to have a relatively small lens to cover up, you can't have any sort of lens hump. So if you're putting it on a smartphone, specifically on the rear-facing camera, something like the Nexus 5X has a relatively large camera hump and a large lens, so you're not going to be able to use it on something like that. But if you're primarily sticking to things like laptops and front-facing cameras on smartphones, potentially even webcams like I've got back there in the background here, it might work on that, although I think the lens on this camera may be a little too large for that. Looking back there, yeah, it's a little bit large. But looking at the packaging, they do show it working on phones, tablets, and it shows desktop monitor, which I would assume is the iMac. So it's probably like the front-facing iMac camera. I do not own an iMac, so I cannot test that. But I do have it here installed on the front-facing camera of my MacBook Pro that I use for work, and it appears to cover it up very well. It looks very nice. It's not in the way or anything. I can still close the laptop just fine without it getting in the way, and now I don't have to worry quite as much about the potential of my boss invading my privacy or my company invading my privacy. The one thing this is not going to address, obviously, is the microphone. So whatever device you're using, it still has a built-in microphone most likely. So while you may be able to block out people seeing things that are going on, you're not going to be able to block out them hearing what's going on if they do have a way to invade your privacy like that. So you might want to look into other alternatives for that. But as far as addressing the webcam, this is nice. It's minimal. I'll put a link down in the video description to their website where you can find these. I believe they range in a neighborhood of about $12 for 5. Now that means that per pack you can apply them to up to 5 devices, or if you do like I've done with this one that's in my hand and you apply it wrong the first time, you end up with one that's kind of useless. So that's a little bit of a bummer. When I went to peel this off, I peeled it off wrong and the two-sided tape came off, and now I've just got a little piece of metal that I can't really do anything with. So if you do decide to pick something like this up, make sure you apply it correctly the first time. But I think that's going to go ahead and wrap this video up for today. If you are concerned about the privacy of your webcam and think that somebody might be trying to get into it, one, obviously look for any backdoors in your system and try to close those down first. But two, having an option like this is definitely not a bad one. So as always, thank you guys so much for watching. Thanks to Zooms.io for sponsoring this video and making this possible. Remember to leave a thumbs up below this video if you liked it, and subscribe to receive more videos when they become available. We'll see you again next time. When I tap on it, you can see the date there. Just throwing that out there. There's a backlight though. But to get to the backlight, you have to swipe up or down on the right-hand side of the screen. So if I swipe up, the backlight comes on.